So that's the only reason I bought it.
Yeah, we talked about it for a while. And we're like, yeah. As a kid, the more I think about these situations, I have a 50-50 shot of having a girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that type of stuff on
I would
me.
just go the adoption route.
You're already live.
Are we really?
That's not good.
Oh, there we go. Now you can see us. Uh,
Well, welcome to the Thrive Coaching Podcast.
yeah, Thrive Coaching. Woo!
Today we have a good topic. Something that I've actually been diving more into in life is we're going to talk about leadership in the workplace and what that means, some good characteristics, or I guess good practices, and then kind of Zane's going to kind of dive into different types of leaders he's had.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say we have two different roles, right? You're more in the leadership role. I'm in the sales role, but knowing when you can help someone else that is new, that is in the same position that you are, or even someone that's in the same position that I'm in now that's been there longer.
Yeah.
Being so much a leader doesn't mean that necessarily you have to be at the top. You can still help people in different ways at the positions and that you're working at, even if you are in the same position or if there's someone that's higher.
No, I completely agree. One thing I look for in my technicians is who is the leader of the group, who influences their peers the most, and why. Is it bad or good? So yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't matter what level you are, you can practice leadership at any level.
Yeah,
or any position.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I really wanted to dive into is kind of like the key aspects of what you look for in leadership, or how you should practice leadership in the workplace or in your professional career. And I would love for your insight on it, kind of from you just now. Really, I mean, diving into like the real professional career, like a bigger company, to where you actually interact with a lot more people and have relationships with guys in the workplace. Because your other company was a lot smaller, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't get to see.
Yeah, there's most of the time there was between 3. The max we had was like 7.
Yeah. So you really didn't get to see like bad teammates and good teammates. Not a lot of them. You didn't have different examples of good leadership, bad leadership.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I saw most of the aspects, but it was at a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
So being able to see it now from the leadership style that I'm with now, on how they take care of it in a bigger scale.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, switching to this company was like a breath of fresh air. I got to see what a new start company was, and then seeing a company that's established and has kind of had the roots and kept their roots.
Yeah.
Kind of like y'all have done. Y'all are a lot bigger, but I'd say for the most part, y'all have really kept y'all's roots on who y'all are, and y'all haven't switched the core values that y'all hold.
No, that's 100%. And the hardest thing is growing and trying to keep that culture. And I would say we have not perfected it, but I feel like we've done it better than most. Is where we can start with 3 trucks and now have over hundreds of trucks and still have the same culture and same core values. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Absolutely.
But so we'll just dive into this. Be a little quicker episode tonight.
Yeah.
We both had long days, long weeks. It does not feel like a Wednesday.
No, this feels like a Tuesday
Yeah.
or a Monday.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this week to be over.
Me too. I'm ready for NASCAR. Ready
Yeah,
for
me
NASCAR.
too.
It's gonna be a good weekend. So so I'll kind of just give like a reason why. So I had a meeting today with one of my I guess team members that serve on the team, and they made a comment, and it really just, I don't know, it showed me, and this is not a shot at him, it just shows you that people haven't really been led or had people lead them the right way, or grow them, nourish them, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But their comment was, it literally word for word was like, he said, bro, he said, no offense to him, but why does he still work here? It was about somebody at one of our team members, and it really just made me, and my first comment to him was, the number one characteristic you need to have in leadership is grace. I said, not everybody's going to move at your pace, not everybody's going to learn at your pace, and not everybody's going to think the same way you think. So, and he was like, yeah, you're right. And So it just made me think about like what aspects of leadership do people not understand? And I would say the first one is grace. Like not everybody is going to move at your pace. The project that you want done isn't going to get done the same way that you would do it. Not everybody's wired the same way as you. The questions that people ask might be questions that you would never ask because you think they're stupid. But guess what? They're not stupid to them. That's why they asked them.
Yeah.
So I would say grace, like before you just turn around and just write people off, you need to show them grace, pour into them, coach them, and lead them to where they need to be, and not just continually think, oh, he's not a good fit, he's not the right person. First, reflect to yourself and say, have I led him how he should be led?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing because not only does he need to give that grace to the people that are underneath him, but the people that are above him, what if he messes up?
Exactly.
And I know I've made mess ups with the company that I'm with now. I've made mess ups and said, "Oh crap!" And that's one of the big things that I really looked into when I went and decided to go on with this company. Is I asked him. You could ask Mark. You can ask. Well, he's no longer with us, but you can ask the old sales manager. The first question that I asked him was, "What's your leadership style?"
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that I'm not very that I don't like in certain leadership styles because there's definitely different types. There's guys that are just hey, figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way that leader probably grew. He had to figure it out himself. He made the mistakes his own way, and he learned from them. And then you have the leadership style that's a helicopter that they want you to report every single little detail about your day. And then you have the leadership style that's more laid back.
Yeah.
That just, when I say laid back, they're not over your head about everything. If you're taking care of your projects, you're good. They're going to leave you alone. If you have questions, you can go to them. And that was one of the biggest things that I asked for when it came to the leaders that I'm dealing with and the leaders that I am working with now is most of them are not most, pretty much all of them. Some of them are a little bit more high strung, but for the most part, they're laid back. And I know I can be a high strung person. I had one guy tell me, just because when I get in a certain mode, and this is something that I'm sure you've noticed as well. When I get
Zane mode. That's what I call it.
when I get in a certain mode, it's not that I'm shut off, but I have my idea. That's what I want to do, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to fix the issue. And so one of the leaders that I deal with, he looked at me and he said, Zane, because I messed up on a job, and he said, Zane, sometimes you're really hard to work with. And I told him, I've been there for over a year now, and I said, well, how come you never mentioned this to me before? My mom kind of said something to me this past week that really kind of spoke to me. How can I fix something if I haven't been told that it's wrong? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times with someone, necessarily the guy that said that comment right there, has he told that person, hey, this is wrong, this needs to be fixed, and how to fix it?
Yeah.
And that's something that in my company, the person that's my team lead, he told me, he said, hey man, you're kind of hard to work with, let's back down. And so I've really tried to focus in when he's talking to me, when we're communicating back and forth about going through what we need to get done with that job. I make sure to listen. I take a deep breath. I actually try to fully listen and comprehend what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I can be better for him and he can be better for me.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. As far as my leadership style, I'm definitely the third one you mentioned. My team knows that I am not going to check in with them daily on like their projects and tasks.
I'm going to have to go around your office and ask them, make sure that's all
Oh, they
true.
know it because I tell them because they'll come ask me for help. And they'll be like, what do you think about this? I'm like, if you think it's great, run with it. Until it hits like a hiccup, it's all yours. Own the project, take lead. If you have questions, I'm here to be your resource. But there's a reason why I gave you the project. I trust you. So if you need me to be a resource, yes, tell me, and I'll set up a meeting with you. I did that today. I talked over it for 30 minutes, gave him my opinion. He took off with it. But I'm never going to be the one that checks in daily. But you'll know, like I'm a very laid back leader until I realize the ball's not moving, and then I'm super punctual because I'll just be like, hey, this needs to happen today. Like,
Yeah.
so, but no, I'm super laid back. I mean, this is probably too laid back, but my guys would be out of the office, and I don't even ask them where they're at.
And there's certain workers, there's certain guys
Yeah.
that will work for you that need that sense of direction, that
Yeah.
have no self motivation to want to get something
Yeah.
else. It's kind of like when you're working on a car and you're using a socket wrench and then you know the next tool that you're going to need. Like if I'm working with you on a vehicle and I know what tool you're going to need,
You better hand it to me.
I'm just going to go up and get it
or else I need a new apprentice.
I'll get out of here, whatever. Versus there's some people where they need direction like, hey, can you get me this is the next one I need, can you make sure to grab that one as well? I have some people that I know that are like that. They need to be told exactly what to do. When they get told what to do, they do it really, really good.
Yeah.
But they're not going to take the initiative to go ahead and take on the next steps that need to be done just because they don't that's not how they process things.
With the culture index test that we take at Milestone, those people you're mentioning have like low A, like super low A. And basically it's like if you give them a project, they'll take off with it, but they don't want to make any decisions on their own. And you need those people on your team. Not everybody needs to be high A, high autonomy. I'm taking lead. I'm working by myself because nothing would get done.
Yeah.
You need people that are going to run the play that you give them. And so that kind of leads into my second trait that I think all leaders should have, and I think it's vision for their team. And you have to be able, in good communication, to share that vision. I don't want to work for somebody who is complacent or doesn't see anything greater for the organization that I'm under. I think that all leaders should have vision for whether it's vision for the quarter, vision for goals that they need to meet, whether it's technicians in my area of professional work life. But I mean, I think if you don't have vision, I don't want to work for you. I want somebody who has big expectations for myself and himself. Like, if you're complacent, not wanting to move forward, you feel like you've already made it in your career or your life, I get real frustrated. I've been in those situations, and I've been really frustrated working for those people because it's like, if you're already satisfied, what are you showing up for today? Just a paycheck?
Yeah, and that was one of the big reasons why I switched.
Yeah.
The last company, there was no vision. I mean, he had a vision, maybe. I don't know if he had a vision.
But he didn't share it.
But it wasn't shared.
Yeah.
On what exactly he was wanting to do. And I'm sure you can attest to this. Starting a new company is hard. Being in a startup's hard. Your dad, your brother-in-law, they can all attest.
I've heard all the stories.
Yeah. And that's something that you always need to make sure to do, is make sure to communicate the vision, not only for the numbers, but what you see the company and hope the company gets to, and steps that you're going to take to make sure that progress moves so the vision is met.
Well, sharing your vision also drives your people.
Yeah.
If the fact that you didn't know your vision, you probably felt stuck.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to share your vision. Do you need to always share all the details? No. And I'm doing a leadership class right now over the book, Start With Why. And it says you need to always know the why before you know the what. So before you tell your people what to do, they need to know why. And that's part of sharing the vision is, hey, Zane, I want you to go move Jet's tractor to the wall. And the first answer you naturally want to say, but people aren't going to question their leadership, is why. And I'm going to say, well, if you want to walk out of the house, the tractor's in your way. That's sharing the vision and the why behind it. But imagine your leader telling you all these tasks and never gives you the why. You're going to be pretty frustrated, and you're going to have self-doubt about the whole plan. Say, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. But all you have to do is explain the why and the deeper roots, because most of the time the people who are telling you what to do, they didn't just make that decision overnight. They sat on it, prayed about it, thought about it for weeks. I feel like a lot of people in the workplace think every decision made by leadership is like rational or irrational and quick, but really there's 10 meetings before one decision is made.
Yeah.
But the way they see it is like, oh, this is crazy. They're changing all of our comp. I'm like, guys, we didn't just do this overnight. Like, we met for 3 months. Like, we made sure that we had all the fine details set, we had all the decisions made, and we didn't just affect everybody's lives without knowing what impact it had. And so whenever you come out with a new comp plan or the new policies, you need to share the why. And I feel like a lot more people would get behind you.
Yeah.
And
No,
most people feel like they have to hide the why.
absolutely. And that like you said earlier, it doesn't motivate the people that, in my aspect, if things that have changed in ours, if I don't get the why, it's not going to motivate me to know why I need to
Yeah.
do that.
Like, what's our goal? What's our goal here? Well, we want to meet margins. And that makes us not be able to outprice ourselves in the market. Oh, that makes sense. So I'll be able to sell more? Yeah, you'll be able to sell more. Okay,
Yeah.
I can get on board with that. Like,
Exactly.
so, yeah, it's just sharing the why and showing your vision has a lot to do with leadership. And a lot of people struggle with that because, and based off my experience, they either don't want to share the why because they don't believe in it. Like, if their leadership made a decision and you report directly underneath their leadership, they don't share it because they don't believe in it. Or two, because they don't know the why behind it.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's another thing, part of leadership that you kind of led into is, um, you have to believe in what you're saying
have to.
to your employees, to people like me. You have to believe what you're saying is the right thing, or else it's not going to come off, and it's just going to keep on being like a domino effect to where it affects us. I tell people all the time, and I tell this to some leaders as well. And I said, if I don't believe in something that I think that needs to be done, I'm not going to pitch it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't believe in it, how can I tell somebody, hey, this needs to be done, or you're going to have an issue?
Yeah, customers see right through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so everything that I say to the people that I work with, everything I say to customers, I have to truly believe, hey, yeah, this is an issue. This needs to get taken care of, or I won't do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I also believe, just based off what I've seen and as I grew up from being a technician to a manager to an instructor to a director, I used to get so frustrated looking from the outside in, knowing where the top leadership would relay messages to, I guess, middle leadership, and it used to frustrate me whenever the management level wouldn't buy in to the vision of the company, and they would relay that to the technicians. I think I have respect for your leader, whether you agree or not, whether you disagree or agree with the play that's decided by leadership, you should run it, whether you're bought in or not. Because at the end of the day, it's not your decision. And if you don't agree with it, then you should speak up before you just,
I think,
until you toxify the vision.
yeah, and I think when you go in, if you have an issue with something, like yesterday, we were dealing with an issue, and I was telling you guys,
Yeah.
this was the issue. Don't just go up there and tell the person that's over you, hey, this is the problem.
Yeah.
You need to go over there and say, hey, this is the problem.
Here's
Here's
why.
3 ways. No, here's 3 ways that I think we could fix it.
Yep.
Which one do you like? If they get all shot down, well, at least you the person that you know or that you were talking to, he knows, hey, this guy was really actually thinking about this situation. I'm going to take him a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. My first thing was whenever people tell me or disagree with anything that I have to say or a decision I'm making, if they tell me this won't work, and I go, okay, well, what can we do better? What do you think? And they don't have an answer, I'm not going to listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, anybody can tell me no or why something wouldn't work because I mean, I think the most frustrating people to work with in the workplace is a no man. Like, I'd rather you be a yes man and screw up 100 times than be a no man and not have a reason or have a fix.
Yeah.
Or have a strategy. Like, you can't always just say no. Like, that's impossible. Like, you know how many people probably told Steve Jobs no? Like,
I need to say no more.
yeah. Yeah, you probably should say yes more.
Okay.
But nothing's more frustrating to work with a bunch of no man because nothing gets done.
Yeah.
And there's no innovation, there's no vision, there's no goals. It's just what we're doing is working, why change it? And if you want to move and advance in any kind of career, that you can't have that mindset.
If you decide to say no, don't just think of it as a problem. Try to be someone that actually comes in and creates solutions for that problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I really want to hone in on.
Yeah.
A piece of it.
No, I agree with that. If you say no, you better have a very good reason why, and how we can overcome it. Because I want to work together as a team. I don't trust me. No one wants to just make all the decisions, and that kind of leads into my fourth aspect is, I think a great leader knows his team and knows who to lead on. The way I look at it and the way I vision it is when I build a team, which we've kind of talked about this a little bit on the podcast, is I basically build my own personal bookshelf. Like, you go to the library, say I have one good teammate who's really good at organizing. I pick that book. I have a really good teammate who's good at running the play, getting results, doesn't take no for an answer. I pick that book out. So I think while you're building a team, you have to have just a war chest of things that you can pull, plays you can run, and you can't have a team full of the same people who want to work out. So I think a great leader knows how to build a great team and drive results.
If I asked you, and we weren't related, we were just friends. And you didn't like me, if I said, "Hey man, I need you to pick me up at the airport. Can you pick me up?" What would you probably say? Weren't really just kind of friends, really didn't like each other that much. What would you tell me?
What would I tell you?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I can pick you up.
If we didn't like each other.
Yeah, I would say I'd pick you up.
What, and then you no show?
No.
Okay. Well, then you're terrible.
What? If you ask me to do something, I serve people.
There's a lot of people, not a lot of people like you.
I might not enjoy it. I'll probably tell my wife, I don't want to go pick them up, but I know I'd feel bad if I did.
It's always good for a leader to make sure that he grows relationships, not only work related, but also personal. Mm-hmm. Know who they are as a person.
Yeah.
Know what bothers them. Know what gets them pumped, excited about things. Actually find out, because I think a lot of people forget when you're in a business. They always try to put money up at the front. Really learn the people that work for you and that work with you, because if y'all have a great relationship and y'all can get things done together and y'all are both happy, they'll do things more for you. Yeah. So we have a guy that we work with. If one of the other guys on our team were to ask him, "Hey, can you do this for me?" he wouldn't get back to them probably at an appropriate time. Yeah. Not going to be very urgent to get it done.
Nobody wants to work with him.
If I give him a call, me and him have a great relationship. Been to his house. And I'm not saying you have to be at everyone's house, but I've been to his house, met his kids. If I give him a call, say, "Hey man, I really need this done," it's to me in the next 30 minutes. Yeah. It's about the relationships that you gain, because if you have a great relationship with the person you're working with, they're going to do more and want to do more for you because they know that you care about them as a person.
No, I agree with that. Whenever your team knows that you actually care about them and believe in them, you'll drive a lot more results than you do as just a dictator and having a toxic relationship or in the culture. So, and I'm a firm believer of that, man. Like, if you want great results, be a great leader. Yeah. Serve people, treat people right, and be there for them when they need you. And they'll do anything for you. They'll run through a wall for you. We have a saying, a milestone that Gus always says, it's hire right, train right, transition right. Or hire right, treat right, transition right. Either way you want to say it. Is we hire the right people, we treat them, train them, serve them, and if they don't work out, we transition them right. You always, no matter what, serve your people, be the leader they deserve, and if they're not the right fit, transition them out the right way, respectfully. So, I'm a firm believer of that. And having people in your corner at the end of the day is going to get you a lot further.
Absolutely.
I mean, the amount of people I call back to milestone, or I have people I worked with that we probably shouldn't, but I call them and ask them for help or questions, and they'll answer me. And they have no reason to, but they've been in the industry longer than me. I trust them. I'll call them and have phone calls with, "Hey, I'm about to make this decision. What do you think? Have you ever thought about this?" And they'll tell me. And most places probably wouldn't, but we treat them right, we transitioned right, we hired right, and it's just whenever you treat people right, no matter what, if they still work for you or not, they're going to be in your corner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have to add.
Yeah.
I think that was something that a lot of people overlook is those little pointers that you really want to make sure that the people that work for you that help you and ultimately not only do you help them but they help you with everything you do inside the business. um, Make sure to take care of them.
No, I agree. And just know that the more you take care of them, the more you serve them, the more you build that relationship with them, the easier it is to coach them through those moments where they screw up.
Yeah.
And most people think the opposite. Oh, I get too close to them, I can't discipline them, or not discipline. That's a dad word. But the closer I get to them, the less I can coach them. It's awkward for our relationship. No, you're not supposed to build friendships at work, but you're supposed to build relationships. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I have good friends at work, but if it comes to work first, we know how to have difficult conversations. So you need to build relationships with the people you work with so you can be the best team you could be.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
I agree with
100%
that.
agree. So
Awesome. Well, I think this is a good episode. I think people could actually take something from today and use it to benefit themselves in their professional life, whether they're a leader or reporting to their leaders. Maybe have a better understanding of why things happen.
and if you don't know what your leaders have or you're not sure what it is, ask them.
Yeah,
Hey, what's your leadership style? What visions do we have? Don't be afraid to go and actually ask the people that are ahead of you the answers that you want.
they want to hear that. That's what they want to know. Is they want to know you're hungry. You want to know the what, the why, and you want to run the play. So if you have any questions about leadership or anything in the workplace, go ahead and shoot me or Zane a message. Just say Thrive Coaching in the subject, and we'll get back to you and answer any questions you have.
Peace.